tigz125 and we are back with the adventures of Nick and Willikins. In this one we're going to find out about what the note says and how to do that satellite thing. I'm hoping. So, yeah, let's get into it. So we were meant to go to the post office. Why did I go at the post stop? Whatever it is. Why did I come in there? And we didn't do it off the TV either. Good going, me. I do apologise if my voice is really quiet. I am talking as loudly as I possibly can. I did do a recording of this video. Well, I did like half an hour pauses. Like I'm really not kidding, half an hour pauses. Because I'm stuck. I was like, what am I doing? So I like ran around like all over the place where I can get to. And I was like, oh, there must have been a reason why I could do that. And I think so.
Ah, this would appear to be the all-important decoder ring upon which my entire day now hinges for some inexplicable reason.
I don't even know if the sound is loud enough. And I'm really sorry if my voice is not loud enough. It is up to like 50 odd and the desktop is like 200 odd. So I have tried to like do something with it. Oh wait, I've got the decoder and I have that one. So it says...
The note says that Master Nick's sanity certificate is in the library portion of his drawing room, inside the book, The Lion, the Witch and the Very Big Fish.
Okie dokie, we will go in there right now. I did look on this website earlier on of the actual game, and I did outbound it, and I did try and figure out what was going on.
Ah, finally, official documentation of Master Nick's sanity.
Yeah, we got this sanity, we did it. Right, as I was saying, I did have a look in the actual website, and all it had was pictures, screenshots of actually the game. So I was kind of like, oh, so you're not going to give me any help. And then I looked on the Facebook page that they have, and they said just click everywhere. So that's what I'm doing.
It would appear that a brand new pair of rubber gloves, or hand wellies as Master Nick calls them, has fallen into the bin.
You mean we've been looking for fucking gloves this whole time, and all I have to do is look in the bin? But I think guys watching, do you know what? I'm actually just like done with this game now. I'm kidding, I'm back anyway. But I am so annoyed. The gloves were in the actual bin this whole time, and me trying to look in the non-obvious places of where the gloves could be, and they're there. I think I'm actually going to cry. Look at these lovely, delicious gloves.
I can't quite reach to turn him over, but I did manage to dislodge the man's wallet. There's very little in here. The identification says his name is... oh, it's Errol. The general ruffian and ne'er-do-well who frequently burgles our home. There also appears to be a note here that says, in case of emergency, call this number. Well, that certainly sounds like a clue.
Have I still got the gloves? I do. Means I can go and see if that's actually the murder weapon. That's what we're going to go and do first, everybody. We're going to go and see if that node is the murder weapon. And yes, I have been slapping my leg like way too frequently. But we're so close to finding out if Nick was the actual murderer. Oh, my hands are freezing. Or if it was somebody else.
Willikins, what are you doing out there?
I was just picking up this object under your bed.
Yes, of course. Only... could you not do that?
Sir?
That is to say, could you go and wait in the dressing room for a moment first? As a good chap.
Sir, I must say, this isn't making you appear to be less guilty.
Just go in there and wait until I give the all clear. Then I promise you can have whatever rubbish you find under there.
Very good, sir.
Is he going to hide it? Goddamn toilet! You didn't!
Well, I can't be absolutely certain, but I believe the plumbing has backed up again. There's only one place the excess water can go in this house when that happens.
Great.
Okay, it's safe.
He's just flooded his own bedroom. He has.
This is most definitely not what was here a moment ago. I doubt it's the murder weapon.
But what's this?
Well, I don't think this is the actual murder weapon, but I might as well take it.
What is it?
A plush rendering of the mascot of a popular American restaurant chain. Oh, and apparently it talks.
This toy may cause one or more of the following hazards: smoking, electrocution, tripping. To ensure your safety, please, under no circumstances,
Okie dokie. Well, the fact that he just flushed down the toilet.
It would appear that something rather large and unwieldy, I expect I can guess what, has been flushed down the loo.
So we have to go to his place, take out the crate. Is that what that bloody rope and that thing was actually for? Oh, that's like oh, wait, no, don't go into the entrance hall. Wow, did he just press it? Oh my god, if I click twice it actually disappears. Look what. What if it does it again? Oh. I was going to do it again. I was really scared because I went and he just like disappeared. It was like such like quick movement like that. It was like, what?
Much as I'd like to crawl into my subterranean hole and hide from all this, it would appear to be flooded.
There it is.
I managed to retrieve the line before that rodent gnawed completely through it. That little blight is going to be trouble.
That's why you got the rat poison.
Yes, of course, that's brilliant.
I didn't mean to do that. I was meant to click this.
I suspect if that rat is clever enough not to drown when his home's been flooded, he won't just eat a packet of clearly marked poison.
He'll eat the fish, though.
This may be the first time in all my years of working here that I've used poison as a verb, and not in the way I'd always imagined it either.
Right. Why ever you've walked over there, I do not bloody know. But okay, right, you poisoned it.
That dead rat won't even be in the top 10 smelliest things I've had to deal with down there, sadly.
Right. This is why we had it.
The diameter of the gnome's pointy cap would seem to match the diameter of the wound on our foyer corpse. I believe I may indeed have obtained the murder weapon.
Yes!
After a considerable fashion.
We found the murder weapon! I'm happy. Right. Now we just need to have a look at this wallet that we found of... Bruh, I thought we picked up the blooming wallet. No, just need to find the motive. He's the burglar, right? Wait a minute. Can we go and talk to Nick now?
Well, sir, despite your best efforts, I have retrieved what appears to be the murder weapon.
What, you want a bloody medal or something?
No, of course not. Carry on, sir. No, thank you.
What does he do? Oh.
A plush rendering of the mascot of a popular American restaurant chain. Oh, and apparently it talks.
This toy may cause one or more of the following hazards: smoking, electrocution, tripping. To ensure your safety, please, under no circumstances,
Do you know what? Just find bloody battery cells. Maybe the coin.
How would that even work?
Well, you know, we have a coin for no reason. Let's see how long this has been recording for. And we got this mysterious number, so hello.
Hello, this is Nick!
Sir, I'm trying to determine who may have had a connection to the body in our entrance hall. Why on earth would you be answering a number that I found in the deceased's pocket?
Errol. As you know, Willikins, Errol's my friend. But I did tell him that he'd better not rob us again or I'll bloody kill him.
Sir, you've put me in a very awkward position here, because I do appear to have found a motive for Errol's murder. However, that motive belongs to you.
Finally, you did something right.
Oh shit.
No, sir, this means you're still very much a suspect.
Well, obviously you're not going to say that to the detective since you're duty-bound to protect me. So, I don't know, tell him someone else had a motive. I'm sure you can make up some lie or another. You somehow convinced my family you were a decent butler when you arrived, so you're obviously extremely skilled at deception.
So the person who killed him was actually Nick?
That's all four of Clever Roose's rather condescending puzzle pieces found. I suppose I should phone him now and be condescended to further.
Jesus Christ. Right, let's go.
You've reached Clever Ruse?
Yes, hello, this is Willikins the butler, from Nick Hall.
Yes? You must be very proud.
We spoke earlier at length. You came here and told me what evidence I'd need to present in order to solve the murder that took place earlier today.
Oh, yes, of course. You've located that evidence, then.
More or less, yes.
And said evidence exonerates your lord and master?
As far as you know, yes.
Excellent. I shall be there momentarily. Meet me at the scene of the crime.
Very good. Obviously, some of this evidence paints Master Nick in a, shall we say, less than innocent light. But I think I can accidentally omit those details when presenting it to Mr. Roos.
Ah, so he's gonna get him done for his crime.
Excellent work, chap. Top notch. Couldn't have done it better myself.
You didn't.
This took us fucking
Yes, but now comes the most important bit. Assembling this data into an official Clever Ruse information packet for easy consumption, processing, and adaptation into various forms of highly lucrative media.
So you're going to take the hard work I've done, scrawl your name at the top, and take credit for the whole thing.
It's a bit more complicated than that.
Is it? Explain it to me, then.
No time for that. I have an important call to make. I shall be in this adjoining room here, not to be disturbed.
Who does he think he is, ordering me about like that?
That's my job!
Off I go. What was that code we'd agreed upon for when someone we don't want hanging about is hanging about? Well, I can't remember it either. That's why I asked you. Don't forget it. The point is, someone is in the room now, and I can't say anything.
Let's go off then.
Excuse me, sir.
I did insist that I not be disturbed, didn't I? I was sure I had, but here's me saying it again. Bugger off.
Right, we'll go behind here then.
Yes, I have all the evidence that clears Lord Nick's name. No, I didn't need to lift a finger. I convinced the idiot butler to do it for me. He's quite the idiot. And also extremely ugly.
Well, that's just hurtful.
And get this, he actually believed I was affiliated with law enforcement. Didn't ask to see a single credential. Ugly idiot. Of course I'm going to bugger down the loo. What better way to destroy the evidence, assuring his inevitable execution, and then I shall have unfettered access to those bearer bonds. No, I don't know what they are, but I know they're valuable. Something to do with the war, I think. Anyway, that's my sinister plan. But look at me dominating the conversation. How have you been? I see. Yes. Oh, and how is Uncle Alfie? Still dead, then?
Good heavens, I must call emergency services immediately.
Emergency services, how may I direct your call?
Good morning. Oh, Beryl's got some time off, has she? Good for her.
Oh, well spotted, sir. I can see from our display that you're calling from a rather posh mansion, so you may not comprehend this. But working folk are entitled to a day off once in a while. We are, despite the way you lot treat us, human.
Yes, of course. As the personal servant to a rather difficult master,
Are you taking the piss, sir?
I beg your pardon?
We ain't servants. We've no use for that archaic class-based nonsense here. Now, what was it that you wanted?
I must speak with Detective Inspector Bobby at once.
A servant speak to an inspector? Not on my watch, sir. D.I. Bobby is much too busy to waste her time on the likes of you.
Really, this is rather urgent.
Well, if it's so bloody urgent, I'm sure your master will have no trouble phoning back.
Well, that was a real roller coaster of class politics. Suppose I'll have to convince Master Nick to phone for the inspector. All right, sir. That's quite enough laying about. I need you to get out of that bed immediately and come to the phone. Sir, are you in there? I don't think he's in there anymore. Master Nick? Hello?
Willikins, why would you think I'd be in bed? I'm in the kitchen. Butter yourself down here at once.
For God's sake. This better not be some sort of fucking trap, I swear.
Willikins, where the hell have you been?
I was about to ask you the same question, sir. Although I may not have phrased it quite so aggressively, depending on how I was feeling at the moment.
I was lying in my bed wondering why I was feeling so bloody peckish when I realized you never actually fed me today. So, at considerable risk to my person, I came down here to see if we were somehow out of food. Not only did I discover that we were not, which therefore means you're just as lazy as I always suspected you to be, but I also found the hole in a state that I can only describe as a complete disaster.
Yes, sir. Only I have been devoting considerable time and energy to clearing you of these murder charges. And, to that end, I need you to phone the police at, as you would say, Wumps.
Ah, no you don't. I'm not lifting a bloody finger for you until you answer for this mess. Starting with this room here, the food laboratory?
The kitchen, sir.
Right, that thing. Now, I know you were down here at least twice today, and as far as I can tell, you just sort of wandered away without preparing me any food. Why did you do that? Where's my food? And most importantly, why did you do that?
Oh,
As it happens, sir, that was when I overheard the murder occurring in our foyer, so I went to investigate.
Oh, you went to investigate, did you? Like you're some bloody great detective who isn't a complete pillock. Honestly, you're so thick, but not in the American sense of having a desirable bottom.
Much to my continued embarrassment, your good great-aunt Petunia would beg to differ, sir.
Nevertheless, this is an unacceptable response. Try again.
Because I'm a rubbish butler,
Go on.
who is terrible at everything?
Correct. Now to the wine cellar for further admonishments.
Oh, good.
oh, don't piss me off with this now, because if I have to go around here.
Now then, I very generously granted you this personal living space when you wouldn't stop grumbling about sharing a kennel with my little dog Willikins.
Extremely generous of you, yes, sir.
And now I see that you converted it to a bloody swimming hole. We're not zoned for that, Willikins. Explain yourself.
Because I'm literally the most worthless, thick-headed soul to ever draw breath.
Got it in one. Or possibly two. I can't be asked to count. Right, now it's on to the front garden.
Sir, this all seems a bit needlessly complicated.
It would seem that way to you, wouldn't it?
For God's sake, let me punch him in his motherfucking face.
And now we come to this. You do realise that is meant to be a hedge maze of doom, don't you, Willikins? Only now there's this obvious gaping hole in the thing that any idiot could easily escape from. Possibly even you.
Because I'm a jerk, sir.
Yes?
Yes, sir. A complete knee-biter.
There, that wasn't so hard now, was it?
Humiliating myself 3 times in a row? No, sir, that's just a typical day here at Nick Hall.
Too right. Now, what pointless thing was it that you wanted me to do?
I need you to phone the police, sir. It turns out that clever Roos fellow is attempting to scam us.
What, like in that movie where that bloke's head exploded?
No, sir, that's scanners.
What, like the Hulk's secret identity?
No, sir, that's Bruce Banner.
What, that trolley little man what's always on Hollywood Squares?
No, sir, that's Bruce Valanche.
What, like my fourth favourite flavour of Dorito?
I don't believe Dorito is spelled that way, sir, but no, that's Cool Ranch.
What, like when Marge Simpson had a mental breakdown?
No, sir, that's Rancho Relaxo.
Constable Bobby returned to Nick Hall, whereupon she was regaled with an accounting of the true events that unfolded that fateful morning.
There I was, sequestered in my chambers. Willikins had ruined my brekkie twice and was almost certainly about to muck it up again. I got bored waiting for his inevitable failure, so I ventured downstairs of my own renaissance.
Sir, don't you mean recognizance?
No, there I met Errol, who, in keeping with tradition, was stealing my newspaper to have a look at the page 4 girl.
Surely you mean the page 6 girl.
No! Unfortunately, before I could forthwith and heretofore arrive upon the scene in question, Willikins had got there first.
But, sir, I was clearly in the kitchen.
Not you, my little dog, Willikins.
You have a dog called Willikins. Doesn't that get confusing?
Not to me.
him.
Apparently Errol was not expecting the presence of a personage of the canine persuasion and, startled, stumbled backwards, impaling himself on my commemorative garden schlag. Impaling himself fatally to death until he died. And since I didn't want the authorities taking my little dog away, I hid him up here. The end.
That all makes perfect sense, sir. But there's one thing.
Ah, no you don't. The murder is solved and I'm innocent. Don't you go all Columbo on me now.
It's a fair cop. Unfortunately, we shall now have to bring someone else in for questioning.
Ah, yes, the so-called detective, Cleverous.
What? Who? Never heard of him. I meant the dog. You, my little murdering fellow, are coming with me.
Oh no!
Will Nick's dog be executed for murder? Was the vast majority of this game actually a pointless waste of everyone's time? And what of poor Errol?
Still dead.
I'm actually not sure why I'm asking these questions, because the story is over now. Roll credits!
That better not have actually been the end. Well then guys, we've actually finished the game, oh my god. You what? That's how it ended? I actually don't understand. Well anyway, thank you guys for watching. I really hope you actually like this game, because we've actually now finished it. Let's go. There'll be another game that's actually come in. It's called Robin. It's on Steam and it's free to play, but I think it's called Robin. But it's like a really depressive game, so if you don't like those type of games, then I will say not to actually watch that one. But thanks for watching again.